On May 27, 1942, the tide of the Pacific War silently began to turn, not on a battlefield, but in a dimly lit basement under Pearl Harbor, where a handful of brilliant U.S. Navy cryptanalysts had achieved what many believed to be impossible. They had cracked Japan's top-secret naval code, JN-25. This was Station HYPO, commanded by the eccentric yet genius Commander Joseph Rochefort, a man often seen pacing in his smoking jacket and slippers while working 72-hour shifts. Alongside his team of mathematicians, linguists, and former Navy musicians, Rochefort had spent months intercepting and analyzing Japanese naval messages. Though the Japanese frequently changed their codebooks, the team at HYPO, through brilliant deduction, traffic analysis, and IBM punch card machines, had managed to recover enough code groups to read fragments of Japan's plans. By May, they knew Japan was preparing for a massive operation against a target codenamed AF. But what was AF? That question held the key to everything. To find out, Rochefort's colleague, Lieutenant Commander Wilfred Holmes, proposed a bold deception. Midway Island should send an unencrypted radio message reporting a breakdown of its freshwater distillation plant. Hours later, Japanese intelligence intercepted the transmission and radioed to Tokyo that AF was short of water. It was the confirmation Rochefort needed. AF was Midway. Now, for the first time, Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, knew precisely where the Japanese planned to strike. Over the next several days, decrypted messages revealed even more details of the Japanese fleet composition, their bearing, and the expected date of attack. By May 27th, Nimitz had enough confidence to act. The intelligence indicated the Japanese would attack Midway on June 4th, around 0700 hours, approaching from the northwest. That single briefing, delivered by Fleet Intelligence Officer Edwin T. Layton, changed everything. It allowed Nimitz to position his three available carriers, Enterprise, Hornet, and the hastily repaired Yorktown, northeast of Midway, ready to spring an ambush. When June 4th arrived, the Japanese did exactly as predicted. Four of their largest fleet carriers, Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu, launched their air assault on Midway, unaware that American dive bombers were already on their way. In just a few hours, through precision strikes and sheer courage, U.S. Navy aviators turned the battle into a catastrophe for Japan. All four Japanese carriers, the same ones that had attacked Pearl Harbor, were destroyed. The Battle of Midway became the most decisive naval victory in American history and marked the turning point of the war in the Pacific. Yet behind the triumph lay a quieter, unsung victory, the triumph of information, analysis, and intellect over brute force. Despite his pivotal role, Joseph Rochefort received little recognition. Washington politics and inter-service rivalries led to his reassignment soon after Midway, effectively ending his cryptologic career. It wasn't until 1986, more than 40 years later, and a decade after his death, that President Ronald Reagan posthumously awarded him the Distinguished Service Medal, finally acknowledging his indispensable contribution. The legacy of Station HYPO endures as one of the greatest achievements in intelligence history. The techniques they pioneered, code breaking, traffic analysis, and deception, laid the groundwork for modern intelligence agencies like the NSA. The events of May 27, 1942, proved that knowledge could be the most powerful weapon of war, and that a handful of brilliant minds working in secret beneath Pearl Harbor could change the course of world history.